What happens when a student with perfect test scores gets rejected from Honor Society for using AI? This Massachusetts lawsuit could redefine academic integrity for the digital age. As we analyze this groundbreaking case, you're going to discover why every parent needs to understand the new rules of education. I'm Evan Goldstein. I'm a licensed professional engineer and a data scientist. And I'm building AI Capitalist to work with leaders and thinkers like you to navigate the new world of machine intelligence. So there's a family in Massachusetts that's waiting for a judge to rule on a lawsuit that could really shake things up for their kid. Some people think it might lead schools to crack down on using AI tools in the classroom, and others are just rolling their eyes, calling the parents a bit too involved. The lawsuit popped up last month and dives into some serious topics like academic honesty and the craziness of college admissions. And really, what school is even for when kids can just let a chatbot handle the heavy lifting? So right now, the case is mainly about one family. The parents want their school to change their son's grades so that he can apply for early admission to some fancy colleges, but if things go their way, it might set other schools across the country into the process of stepping up and making clear the rules about AI usage. So here's the case. The family lives in a well-off area near Boston, and if the court forces the school to change the kid's grade, it might lead teachers to seriously think about whether AI helps students actually learn or just gets them through assignments. It opens a big question. What do we really want students to do in school? Beyond just getting a diploma, what should they actually take away? This new technology may devalue the esteem of those diplomas, which is why some schools are trying to keep an eye on it. So the parents of a senior at Hingham High School are suing the school, claiming that their kid was unfairly penalized as a junior for using AI to put together a history project during his advanced placement class. The teacher ran it through a plagiarism checker called Turnitin, and it flagged a draft about NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's civil rights work as possibly AI-generated. The teacher was even able to use a revision tool to see all the edits and the time that the student spent writing, and it turns out there were big chunks that were copied and pasted from outside sources. After running the draft through a couple of more digital tests that hinted at AI involvement, the boys ended up with a D on the assignment. And here's where things got a little bit fuzzy. When the student and his partner kicked off their essay last fall, the school district didn't even have a rule about using AI for assignments. It was only later that they decided to lay down some ground rules. And this brings up a question: how's anyone supposed to know that they're crossing a line if the line isn't even there? The duo tried to convince their teachers that using AI doesn't count as plagiarism. They pointed out that there's a big debate going on about its use in schoolwork, and they insisted that they never claimed anyone else's work was their own. On the flip side, the district argues that the students at Hingham should know what plagiarism and academic dishonesty look like, even though the officials weren't able for a chat. So at the school, the social studies director mentioned in a statement that English teachers regularly go over citation and research skills, and they expect those to be followed in all social studies classes, including AP US history, even if it's not all spelled out. The school guidelines say that students can use AI to brainstorm ideas, hunt for resources, check their writing for grammar mistakes, and to simplify stuff to make it easier to understand. But the students can't use AI to actually create parts of their projects, like writing text or making charts and videos. In March, the faculty advisor for the school's National Honor Society, Karen Shaw, claimed that the boys' use of AI was the most ridiculous breach of academic honesty that she'd seen in her 16 years there, according to the lawsuit. Because of this, their applications to the society got rejected, and the family's attorney said that the district totally overreacted, calling it using an elephant gun to slay a mouse, for what was really just a misunderstanding. Thanks to the failing grade and the cheating accusations, the kid missed out on the Honor Society, which hurt his chances into getting into some of the top colleges this fall, which he'd been aiming for. The student who's not named in the lawsuit is described as a super smart, well-rounded student athlete, with a stellar 4.3 GPA, perfect ACT score, and an almost perfect SAT score. Just as an aside, when 4.0 is an A+, and you're getting a GPA of 4.3, I think that the school needs to work on its math skills. His attorney argues that excluding him from the Honor Society is just plain wrong. Even though Hingham didn't get a district-wide AI policy until this school year, they're actually ahead of the game compared to most districts. Lots of schools are taking it slow when it comes to putting out clear guidelines on AI. With the new technology, the way it's being adopted and the guidance around it is all over the place, and there's no universal standard. Out of over 1,000 superintendents surveyed last year, only 5% of districts had any sort of AI policies, with 31% saying that they'd get around to developing them eventually. They're being cautious for good reason. They're trying to figure out the impact of this technology before they write any rules down. The districts are serious about studying it, and they want to understand both the possibilities and the risks it brings to learning. But they're often caught off guard by new technological developments and capabilities that they've never even seen coming. Okay, so even if the schools are a bit iffy about jumping into strict rules, they really should think about putting some guidelines into place that help students understand what academic integrity, plagiarism, and acceptable technology use look like, If districts decide to sit back and not say anything about AI, then they're basically inviting confusion and misuse from students. And if they're going to hit students with penalties for using AI, then they better have a clear explanation for why that's a thing. And if you think that this content is important, I would appreciate it if you would hit the like button. Hitting like lets me know I'm making the kind of content you want to see, and it helps spread that content to others. And I thank you for supporting the capitalist. This whole case really highlights why schools need to rethink how they engage with students now that we're living in the AI era. This technology is part of everyday tools like Microsoft Word or Google Docs, and students interact with it all the time. Because of this, many students have started seeing school as just a series of chores instead of a chance to learn and pick up vital skills. Most of these kids feel disconnected, thinking school doesn't offer them much, and they believe that they can complete the transaction of school work with shortcuts instead of actually putting in the work and effort. Ideally, AI tools could help shift the students' focus back to the learning process rather than just cranking on assignments. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to really getting students interested in what they're doing. I've been helping my own high schooler with writing, and when he's genuinely engaged, he'll just say, "Man, I don't need that stuff. Why would I want to use it? I've got my own ideas." Don't stop now. I have dozens more videos. This video is part of a playlist, which I'll post for you here so that you can go through and watch other videos that are similar, or you can watch our newest videos, and we have lots of other playlists. So keep clicking, keep watching. Click over there.